What's up, guys? Rob Kuhn here, and in today's Nik Airball drama series, we're going to look at his continued downswing of $8 million as we see this article posted by Poker News saying $8 million downswing as of September 8th. How can one man lose so much money? That is burning a lot of millions. In today's video, we're going to see a couple hands from Nik Airball where he plays a little unorthodox and probably hands that were not very good. Maybe that added to this $8 million downswing.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Let's go ahead and get in the action.
Give him a chance to do stupid.
Give him a chance to not lose money.
Professor, a wise man once told me never underestimate how stupid people can be.
Yeah. Don't ever underestimate stupidity of your enemy.
Yes. A very wise man told me that. I listened to him.
Please.
3-bet from Mariano, Queen-9 suited. And Nik wakes up with jacks. And for those talking in the chat about what happened to Nik Airball's chips, he used to sit with.
This is the Hustler Friday game. The blinds are 100, 200, 400 with a big blind ante of 200. The action goes, Andy raises to 1,200 with 9-7 suited from a hijack, very standard. Mariano 3-bets to 5,000 with Queen-9 suited. Nik Airball decides to just flat for 4,600 more. Personally, I would like to see a 4th bet. Get those worst pairs in there. Maybe some Ace-Queen. These guys play very, very loose. Of course, the Hustler having some of the best action. You're playing extremely deep as well. It's very unlikely that you're going to face a 5-bet. With that said, he does just go for the flat, and so does Andy. Let's go ahead and take a flop.
$500,000 or whatever. Keep in mind, he's got a stack of 25K chips sort of hidden in the back. He does have $250,000 on the table right now. And Nik called the 3-bet and then led at this, which is interesting. Mariano says that's not enough. Makes it 10K.
On the Queen 6-4 to spade, Nik with pocket jacks, no spade, decides to lead 2,000 into 15,000. Now this is most certainly not a thing ever because you don't have the range advantage. Like you basically never have pocket queens. You could have ace queen, but Mariano is uncapped here. I mean, Mariano could have pocket 6s, pocket 4s, pocket queens, aces, kings, ace queen, king queen, whatever. So betting 2,000 really doesn't accomplish anything besides hopefully trying to keep the pot small, maybe getting value from ace king. Like I actually don't understand what's going on through Nik Airball's brain here.
A wise man once told me never underestimate how stupid people can be.
With that said, Mariano bumps it up to 10,000 and Nik Airball goes for the call, which, we're already in the sus territory. And yeah, it's just once you start taking these like cute fancy lines, it becomes a hard game to play. Let's continue on.
And Nik really trying to make this as hard a spot to play as possible. He's going to continue here, donking for tiny sizes into a player who's good enough to not be dissuaded from doing whatever he wants to do, facing bets of this size. And here comes another raise. 24,000 now. And Nik keeps calling.
And on the offsuit 4 turn, Nik decides to lead once again 2,000 into Mariano's uncapped range. You would think, him raising the flop would indicate strength. Him raising the turn would indicate more strength. Very sus line. Not sure what's going on with Airball. He does make the call. Apparently, just thinks that Mariano is completely full of shit here. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you think. He's just reading the player, right? I don't think you have it. I'm going to call. The thing is, though, if you're Mariano, what are your bluffs? Like, if he has ace-king and he only has to call 2,000 on flop or 2,000 on turn, he's just going to call because he's getting direct odds to hit the ace or king. So, I don't know. And if he has, like, an underpair or something, he's just going to call as well. So, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
83,000 in the middle now. King on the river, and now Nik checks. And front door spades come in. I think checking back here is going to be the play. You still beat some stuff. Hands like jacks through nines that might be weird enough to play this way. But you lose to front door spades. Mariano does check back and wins an 83K pot.
So, interesting hand there all around. And as you can see by Mariano's face, he's quite confused by Nik Airball's line, as so am I. With that said, let's go on to the second hand here.
I'm the best. I'm the fucking best. None of you can make that fold.
If someone just wants to show you one card in that scenario,
Oh my god, I hope they cut that. I can't breathe.
He's the best.
just let it go by you like water off your back, because you never know what that other card was, and they're I don't know if Nik was allowed to choose the card, but if they're picking the card, they're usually hiding something from you.
Call 2,000.
So this went pretty fast, so let's go ahead and recap what happened pre. Jack 9 off opens from +2, which is just way too wide of an open. Aaron could go for the 3-bet with ace-9 of hearts if he wanted, but goes for the call, which is completely reasonable. Dennis Days goes for the overcall with ace-10 on the button, and Nik Airball goes for the overcall out of the natural big blind, which is 200, so he has to call 800 more. Now, this is a spot you just want to fold king-9 pre. It's not really close. The king-9 pre just has very bad reverse implied odds. There's really nothing good that's going to happen here. So these kind of like little small mistakes kind of add up. Anyway, with that said, on the king-4 deuce all heart board, out of position, Airball goes for the lead, drawing borderline stone dead, 3% equity. He decides to lead with top pair, and I don't really understand this.
A wise man once told me never underestimate how stupid people can be.
Yeah.
And four-way pots, you want to be extremely careful. It's very, very easy for someone to have a very high equity hand, say, let's say the ace of hearts, or already has a flush, or a set, or a better king. So let's carry on to the turn.
Heads up.
Sounds like Charles picked the card in this scenario, though.
5,000.
The nuts here for Aaron.
Still the
He's
nuts.
not had a lot of good spots to make money today.
On the turn, Airball does not believe Aaron has a better hand than king-9 and bets 5,000 into 9,000, absolutely incinerating it. And Aaron just goes for the smooth call after rechecking that he has the nuts. We're off to the river.
Just calls Nik Airball on the turn.
Check.
And now I feel like Nick's going to be put in a similar spot that he was in last hand.
20 large.
20,000, really big bet.
Again.
And Nik thinks it's happening again here.
And this is the problem with these lines when you start to develop some kind of donk leading strategy. You're just really making poker a lot more difficult on yourself than you need to. Just go for the check call, maybe go for the check fold on turn when Aaron is obviously going to bet the nuts. you know, you're just making the game very, very complicated. So, and as we can see by his reaction, this is not an easy spot for him. And really, it's not an easy spot in general. I mean, you should just opt to fold because you're four ways, and, you know, Aaron called the flop, Aaron called the turn. Yes, he can have the ace of hearts, whatever. He can have the queen of hearts, but still, he can also have everything else. Anyway, let's go and see what Airball does.
The second fold is harder to make than the first.
It's gonna be so tilting when I make a bad fold and then a bad call.
The zig and the sag, right, Dave?
What's that?
The zigging and the sagging.
Yeah, I know. Kill it. I need to zig more, I think.
This is a giant bet.
I agree.
Aaron, do you have a heart? Ace of hearts?
Yeah, that's fine.
I planned on calling you, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
The mind of Airball.
It's always so easy to say when we can see the cards, but this is another player who hasn't been wildly out of line tonight. And this
He
is
wants
a
to fold.
very big bet. The bet for 60% of one's chips to
Flop a
reeks of
flush?
strength to me.
Yeah, he's putting it together. I think that part was kind of obvious.
I should go home. Same situation. I don't know what the fuck to do. All right, like 30 seconds and I'll decide.
Nick, for the second hand in a row, deep in the tank. And this one he calls off. And undoes his good work from the last hand, unfortunately, for him. $59,000 pot heading toward Aaron.
And another big pot, Airball loses. Not necessarily too big for the stakes, but look, these pots add up. And love them or hate them, Airball is in the mix and, you know, gives us great entertainment on most days. So we're going to keep going down the rabbit hole and see what's going on with Airball's hands. I haven't actually caught up on too many of the hustler hands in a while, so I don't know if he's just been getting cooler or not, but we're going to do a little series here and see what we can find. Anyway, hopefully you guys like that video. Much love.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here.